Good evening. A new system of coronavirus restrictions for England is due to be announced in Parliament tomorrow, with considerable debate within government and questions from those likely to be affected about how it will work. It will involve 3 levels of restrictions depending on the danger posed by the virus in a particular area. We'll be exploring the political decision-making in a moment, but first to Liverpool, where significant new curbs are likely. Our correspondent Dan Johnson is there. Dan.
Yes, case numbers have been rising here and across other big cities in the north and into the Midlands too. So there's acceptance that further measures are needed and that will be likely to result in further economic pain. But this is not just about health versus wealth. This is about culture, enjoyment, about the amount of life we can actually continue living. And on the table are pubs, clubs, the gyms, bookmakers and casinos here. And the region's mayor told me tonight that he will not agree to those closures until there is the right support in place to look after the workers who will be affected, and until he has a clear way out of these local lockdowns so that cities like this are not stuck in another lockdown for month after month. On the loudest, liveliest streets, people worry about what's to come, and they want to be listened to be understood.
All the things that are getting cancelled, the things that they enjoyed this time of year, Halloween, bonfire night, Christmas, so these are things that we're going to have to compromise with. If he'd have done it earlier, I think we would have got this far.
The only way you're going to do it is total lockdown. Once you've got total lockdown, you've got it under control.
We were doing really well before all of this happened.
But listen to Connor, running a pub already quietened by local restrictions.
We're not even breaking even at the minute, never mind being able to pull back all the rent that we still owe or pay back the wages that we topped up. And further restrictions could be a final nail in a lot of people's coffins, unfortunately.
And I would say our sales are down 50%.
And Jonathan's wondering whether restaurants will be hit by new tiers of rules.
You know, Liverpool has known tough years, and I've been here when it's been tough, but you know, of the last sort of 10 or 15 years, it's been a brilliant place to be, and it worries me that rug could be pulled.
Consider too the challenge of enforcing even tougher restrictions. This was Liverpool city centre last night. There's frustration about how these rules are being introduced, and there's concern about how and when they're lifted.
Make no mistake that these measures are probably equivalent to what happened back in March, and we thought that we'd turn that corner, didn't we? But our infection rates are still very high.
Do you think you'll be able to reach an agreement tomorrow?
I'm hoping that we can get there. It appears that the government, in good faith, entered into these talks. It's a real pity then to find that some of the detail of them was leaked before we had a chance to sign things off.
It wasn't just Liverpool busy at 10 o'clock. Look at London's Leicester Square. And in Peckham, they were playing cricket. The government denies it's unfairly targeting northern cities.
And there is nothing that we would ever do that penalises one part of the country over another. The Chancellor represents North Yorkshire, I represent North Nottinghamshire. Neither of us would want to do anything that hurts the North or the Midlands more than any part of the country. But it is right that we take a localised approach.
But after the curfew, came in, it was just game over.
But think about Joe, still paying for the taxi that no longer covers his bills.
You don't know where you're going to be in 4 weeks' time. Am I going to be driving a taxi, or going to be working in a factory, or living on the dole with no money?
Closing time is coming for more businesses. And this city, famous for the musical sounds it sent around the world, now waits with others to find out how much of life is about to be silenced. Dan Johnson, BBC News, Liverpool.